I'm going to read to you the story of Dragonlance, Chronicles, and on my TikTok, you can see proof that the authors responded to the readers. I'm sorry about my voice. I'm going to start doing this at 8 p.m. So hopefully you'll join me. I'll read a chapter every day at 8 p.m. And so let's get this story on the road, okay? Okay. So my TikTok is theuntitled.us. You can see there proof that readers respond to authors. This is because of gravity bending time, and it is because of our minds connecting outside of time. Okay, so we'll start with here. Here are the lands of Abanazinia. So I just barely contacted a bunch of news channels. I just barely sent a bunch of emails and stuff. So I can't stop doing that until I'm discovered. What's been going on with me is really big. It's not fair that I've been blocked this whole time. I should have had a lot more attention than I had. It's very evil what happened. People paying to have me blocked. And people tricking people so that they wouldn't have attention here. That's pure evil, and it's been coming from the Mormon church because of being able to see, you know, they've been spying, and they'll do things like pay Mark to help. And so he did that, and I had to dream about I had to dream about women getting pissed off that they were being blocked because they were wanting to see what was going on. So anyways, here is the lands of Abat. So this word would mean, let's see, hello there, Abanazinia. So for like using the Egyptian origins of this would be caring, warning, cared, and then eating, loving, or drinking. The letter N is basically like for what's going on inside of you. For the brain tissue and what's going on in there. So it's like for pleasure. This story totally synchronizes to my life and my friends and stuff in the weirdest way. It's so cool. How's it going? So this right here comes out of the subconscious mind of the authors, but they actually responded to the readers. And it's so funny how everything perfectly will match. Yes, I mean, younger people probably haven't even read compared to older people. Because, I mean, I didn't compared to people older than me. I really didn't. I played video games more, you know. So, yeah, this is really cool. What's really funny is how the Dragonlance will synchronize to I mean, everything has been synchronizing to me, and I forgot what happened in the Forgotten Realms. So its perfect name, Forgotten Realms, because I read a trilogy of theirs, and there is I started on the Crystal Shard or whatever trilogy thing, and I can't remember any of it. But there's that character Dritz, so it's like kind of asking for me to do the same thing there, you know? So it's really cool. So maybe I'll do that. But, okay, so here is, how to say this word is caring. It's basically like, we care, don't ban him. Caring, ban, as in, and then justice is supposed to be found, where the sin is carried, and then A is there, and then it's out, you're out of time, we care, is basically how to say this name in Egyptian. It's like taking, it's basically using the language of Adam to come up with the definition. You can find that on my blog. I would suggest going to predeathfunerals.blogspot.com to understand that. It's really cool. But you'll understand all these words in a different way. Like, Quishu would be, the letter Q is what they used to use for marriage, getting married. And then U is like doing it for yourself. So that's why Q and U is always found, because it's like the most selfish place a person's going to be. It's like when you think about the letter U to our subconscious minds, there's a V that's like doing it for the group, you know? So a U would be like doing it more for yourself, or for the bird that fell behind. So this is pretty cool here. So with the letter E, that's typically, And so all of those words are going to mean something in like a spiritual way. And what you witness will be like impossible to witness in a way. So check this out. The continent of Ansalon. So that means caring, loving, or drinking, or eating. Caring about eating. I actually need food right now. I seriously do. And then S is measuring what's entering the body. And this is salon. Salon. So caring about loving, and then salon. And then also it would be caring, loving, eating, or drinking is what the letter N is. S is measuring what enters the body for the Dead Sea Scroll. A is cared, and then the Ankh is carried from the first A. So it's like cared that, you know, you have to love, eat, and drink. And then L is rejection until the work is done, or working. And then O is sharing. And then N is the letter A, the letter N's been found. So it's kind of like saying, you need help, you're hungry, you need food. That would be the way to say it in Egypt. And then this is kind of like saying, you should sue who's banning you. So I agree, of course. So anyways, so here we're going to be checking out this. So this is going to be coming from the subconscious mind of the author. Very interesting how this is possible. That means that over here, this will be kind of like New York City because the person's an American. You know what I mean? And then over here, this would be like Utah area, right? And that's where the companions are going to start out at, over in the Utah area. What's really funny is, so Palmby has synchronized this Christiania, which would be in the later part of it, but that's over in the Seattle area because she lived in Portland. So on the map, Christiania first appears over here because they responded to real people and they're trying to help us. See, they're trying to help us. So I'm going to be going to court and I'll be suing and we'll be getting money and she won't feel endangered or threatened. People have been like scaring her. She's been scared to meet me because she's been thinking I'm in danger or something. It's not true. What endangers me is not being with her. What endangers me is not talking to her. People have been using that to try to get me, to try to take everything from me. So that's what endangers us. It's actually not being together and not spreading everything that's been happening. It's been being antisocial, you know? Like, because she wouldn't be Catwoman and I wouldn't be Batman if I wasn't antisocial. Bats are antisocial, but I'm not Batman. Of course not. But when I woke up to the Batman synchronicity, that was trying to wake me up to something. How bats were in my head and I was being very antisocial. In Idaho, where they have my boss Ann Bruce fell outside of where I was sitting at my desk. It was northeast of my desk, so that helped me wake up to where the willow tree was, where the bats are found. And so her name Bruce was a tree. I mean, not her name, but Bruce Wayne is a tree, and so her name is Ann Bruce. So it was like, check out northeast because of Ann and Wayne, way northeast. So I was like, northeast, huh? And then like all the street names in Idaho were named after trees. So like helped my mind to make sure I would notice it. It's like, oh wow, what the heck? Why would I compare myself to Batman? That's weird. And then it seemed to do that so that Mark would wake up to the importance of, you know, not ignoring people and not being so antisocial. And like, he's been two-faced because he hasn't contacted me. He's been two-faced because he hasn't contacted me. So, what am I going to say? But, he's been Detective Harvey. I guess you called him Detective Harvey. It's funny. But I mean, I should connect with Facebook and work with them because I haven't lied about anything. It just makes him look like a killer that's trying to kill me. I've been scared that he kidnapped Palmby because of the dreams that I had of her asking her to let us win. And he was helping, like Mormons or whatever, block me. He was covering everything up. See, he's the one that's been doing this to us. He's been jealous of me and he's been ruining everything. I need to sue him for doing that to me. I'm standing up for myself. But anyways, these people are helping me too. And this miraculous name, it's having to do with what's going on because they're trying to help me. They're trying to save me. And so, because we lived once, it's doing this. So please, don't let these people succeed in blocking Amber. She doesn't know about me. She thinks that she does, but she doesn't, because they don't let her know everything. They haven't let her know everything. She hasn't known everything. Otherwise, she would have contacted me. That much is very obvious. So anyways, okay, so this right here is the map. So Palanthas is like Seattle area. It's like up here. One. Because this person that wrote the book is like an American, you know? Really weird. So down here, Tarsus. That's funny. Because that is California. Los Angeles has, you know, a lot of crime and stuff. And it used to be better than it was. And so in this story, Tarsus was like, I mean, it didn't used to be better really, because of how they would like clean it up, you know, for the movies and stuff. You know, like it always had, you know, it wasn't always like totally the best, but it actually was cleaner and stuff. It did look nicer. People took better care of it. You know, there's trash and stuff in a lot of places, so that's sad. But it's pretty interesting how this is, you know. My sister lives here too, so it's like trying to wake me up to this, you know. And then what's this over here? Is TARS over here? That's really weird. So I guess I was talking, so they're talking about where most of the drugs, I guess, go in. New York and LA. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. Sylvan Esty, and then Balfour, Goodland. So this over here is a Kinderlands. What the heck? That's really cool. I wonder if my friend Jennifer McKendrick, that really woke me up to this, if her family's from over there. That's really funny. Because that wouldn't surprise me at all. Anyways, so Jennifer McKendrick woke me up to the synchronicity found here. It's so weird. So let's read this book. So, okay. So hopefully you'll be with me and read this. Hopefully, okay. I want everybody who is, you know, a part of this story, I'm going to tag you on Facebook, online, and hopefully you'll watch this and you'll wake up to this being real. So I'll figure out who these people are. I'm going to figure out who all these people are. I've been able to figure out a lot of them. Kiana or Cupbot is Silvara. Silvara. And she's always giving people rides and stuff because she has a car. In this story, she turns into a dragon and gives people a ride. When dragons first appear in the story, I think it's, where is it? In California? And then, or Tarsus, where Kitiara was. Huh, interesting. We'll see right there is symbolic, because Kitiara has been, has represented my car, because of Knight Rider and Kit, and somebody illegal, or a woman that's in love with me, but it's not really real. It's actually somebody else trying to kill me. He's trying to, you know, take everything that I made. I made something really big called the Tweeting 20s for everybody to have pre-death funerals and stuff like that. And people have been trying to do that. So I would actually be safe. am safe, but it's sad what I have to go through to make sure that I'm safe. But anyways, and that goes with, I was just too antisocial. I was working too much, you know? I need to be discovered. If I'm discovered, I'm safe. If I'm not discovered, I have to do nothing but contact the news crews. I can't do anything else. I have to let them know what's going on, because I am going to sue them for attempted murder if they don't help me. If they don't help me be discovered, I'm going to sue them, because somebody would be paying them not to let me be discovered, so he could kill me and take everything from me. That would be easily proven in court. So here you have the canticle of the dragon. So the dragon has represented rape. And so my guess is that somebody contacted Kiana and had Kiana do things, or Cupid, the Palmby would not meet me. Palmby didn't know all this stuff that was going on to prevent her from being able to meet me. She would have met me if she knew everything that was going on. She has been prevented from knowing. And so I'm not going to give up until she knows. It is not okay. Somebody could have been watching me and totally jealous and wanted to stop me and kill me and take everything away from me. And so he bought her house, possibly. He could have bought her house and suddenly paid and was paying her to do everything that made it look like she was aware of me when she wasn't. That is very real. She doesn't even know that. But she's been actually trying to marry me. And she needs to know that that's real. And they've been trying to use that to kill me. So that's really sad. But anyways, this book is actually trying to save my life. That's really beautiful. I'm very thankful. A lot of English songs and stuff have been, English artists and stuff have been trying to save me. And so I'm very grateful for that. But there's nothing illegal that needs to be done. I just need court. I just need somebody, you know, that cares enough to just call the court and say, yeah, he can be discovered. It's obvious that there's something going on where somebody's trying to prevent them from being able to save me. That's messed up. I'm not illegal. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm trying to save people. I'm trying to give them what they gave me. And it appears to me that somebody might be trying to make somebody else look bad by convincing the person to block me. Because they know that all the names responded to me. So it's like they want Trump to fire me because he would look like the dumbest fool in the world once they find out. Anyways, enough of that, right? I don't want to cover for him anymore. I need to, you know, be heard. I need to go to court. I have to focus on that girl first because she's been taken advantage of. She's a woman. She could be impregnated to stop me. Somebody would actually be that sick. Because recently I shared that those names were M names. And then I was trying to figure out the dreams and stuff and everything that she was trying to do and everything that she was trying to have me do. And somebody could have been so jealous that he could have actually done that. He could have actually, you know, just been trying to mess me up and just try to take my life away from me as if he could just have it and just somehow get rid of me. Somehow just block me from existence as if I didn't even exist. So let's find out about this. And I wouldn't be surprised if there was a gay man that was a Mormon paying Mark, and Mark was gay doing this, and then he's like, that wouldn't surprise me at all. And then he's like, oh, you're come on, just admit it, you're gay, just admit it. And then he's like, I'm just gonna take away your life then, you know, or something like that. Like, I don't even know. What am I supposed to think? That's totally evil. It's totally messed up. I'm not sure what to think. And that's totally ridiculous to say such a thing. I just try to figure out how is somebody possibly doing that to me. I don't want to yell anymore. I just want to read this book. And seriously, I'm done with yelling. I'm not crazy. People have just been blocked from being able to look at this. So let's find out what's going on. So here's a canticle of the dragon. Now, how it starts with the old man. So let's start it here. Or should we look at this? The canticle of the dragon. Hear the sage and his song descends. You know what? I don't want to read this. I'll read this. Okay. Tika Whalen. Now, Tika Whalen synchronizes as my brother's wife because they met on the landline. It's really funny. She's synchronized as my brother's wife because they met on the landline and and she was ready to get married. They married like right away. So Tika Whalen straightened her back with a sigh, flexing her shoulders to ease her cramped muscles. She tossed the soapy bar rag into the water pail and glanced around the empty room. It was getting harder to keep up the old inn. Maybe I should just show myself, right? It was getting harder to keep up the old inn. There was a lot of love rubbed into the warm finish of the wood, but even love and tallow couldn't hide the cracks and splits in the well-used tables to prevent a customer from sitting on an occasional splinter. There's a lot of love rubbed into the warm finish of the wood. But even love and tallow couldn't hide the cracks and splits in the well-used tables to prevent a customer from sitting on an occasional splinter. In my head, it's like, meaning people are going to tell. The inn of the last home was not fancy, not like some she'd heard about in Haven. It was comfortable. The living tree in which it was built wrapped its ancient arms around it lovingly, while the walls and fixtures were crafted around the boughs of the tree with such care as to make it impossible to tell where nature's work left off and man's began. The bar seemed to ebb and flow like a polished wave around the living wood that supported it. The stained glass in the window panes cast welcoming flashes of vibrant color across the room. So the Inn of the Lost Home is like in a big Valenwood tree, I think they're called. They're really huge trees, and it's like up in the sky. I'll show you a picture here. So, shadows were dwindling as noon approached. The inn of the last home would soon be open for business. Tika looked around and smiled in satisfaction. The tables were clean and polished. And all she had... Wow, they actually made a mistake in the very beginning like that? That's weird. Tika looked around and smiled in satisfaction. The tables were clean and polished. Weird. I thought that when that mistake appeared, Palm B was in my head at the same time, going, sorry, I made a mistake. That's weird. She was going, I was only doing this. And I was like, what? Get me jealous? She said I need to know. She's waiting for me now. Okay, I don't know. Those are just thoughts that are entering my head. That doesn't mean they're real. Sorry. But it's weird how the timing of that happens, you know? Because it's right as I was coming across this mistake. The tables were clean and polished. All she had left to do was sweep the floor. So somebody writing the book lowercased it at that moment that she sent that. Oh, I get it. They're confessing that they like her too. Or she likes me, he likes her. That's really funny. Because the letter A means caring. The letter A means caring. That's really funny. I mean, it's expected. That's what I witness everywhere I go. With everything I come across, they're always doing that. They're always like, you know, they'll like come with timing and they're like, are you sure you want that girl? Like, I think you could choose somebody else. But I don't tell people. But don't be embarrassed. I understand. I'm waking up to that. I used to think I was ugly. I put a lot of work into, you know, looking better. all she had left to do was sweep the floor. She began to shove aside the heavy wooden benches, heavy wooden benches, as Odic emerged from the kitchen, enveloped in fragrant steam. Maybe they're like, it's about something else. I don't know. But I was just warning you that while reading this or everything, that actually it happens anytime you come across anything. If it was made by a person, it will come with timing that will help, you know? Crazy. You know the Dune story? The Dune story? If I were to compare myself with that character, he has 2 wives, and then it's like, whoa. Like one of them's secret, you know? And so I was thinking, that's really weird. Because I was riding my ex-girlfriend, and I was thinking, you know, like something like, what, like how much more powerful that would be or whatever if somebody was like trying to like take the country or something. So I was like, why would an English guy or somebody in that location, like how would that help him, you know? And then it just kind of goes along with, whoa, that's weird. Like what if I actually was like power driven? Because in that story, Dune, he actually took everything. He took everything. And so it's like crazy to think about. Like, what? And then it starts to make more sense. Like, oh, so if I did that. But then you see with that story, a bomb would be dropped. A bomb would be dropped. Or I guess my son, in his lifetime, a bomb would happen. So I mean, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do anything to take over the country. I don't care. I just want to take over my own job. Is that okay? I wouldn't do anything illegal. Just, my mom was a flight attendant, and I was really hard to get. People would try to do things to hook up with me or my sisters. They were really pretty, and you know, alcohol and drugs is kind of a way to do it. And it helped us not remember embarrassing things too. And my mom was a flight attendant. She was gone, so I mean, they did that. So, okay, sorry. Okay, so let me go on with the story. So, don't worry. It's not like ever gonna be like embarrassing or too much, as far as I can tell so far. But I mean, if it is, I'll keep it to myself. Oh my gosh. I understand. I get it now. The A isn't there because it's in the word all. Right at the point when I had those thoughts. So Palm B. So them not having that. Oh, I get it. I don't care because it worked. That's funny. Ow. You know what I mean? Like getting me to respond or whatever, getting me to do something about it. I guess it did work. Yes, it did work. It did work. If she's saving herself for me and gain some weight, I totally am freaking out. I'm seriously doing everything I can to make sure that a monster hasn't blocked me and she hasn't been like tricked into like, you know, having some secret marriage and some family or something. So yeah, I'm totally freaking out. Yeah, she should actually just contact me and let me know, you know, just let me know what's going on. I think she's, you know, maybe she was just wanting me to, let everybody know faster, you know? And that makes a lot of sense, but it'd be a lot easier with her help. It'd be a lot easier with her help. I guess everybody knows. Okay. But they don't, though, because she doesn't actually talk about it. And the way that she does it, it doesn't help me. It actually hurts me. Because people are dumb. They don't look into it. They'll just go, hey, you're bothering her, you know? And then it doesn't help us. So, anyways, so she began to shove aside the heavy wooden benches. Tika's the bartender. She has red hair. So let me go back. Shadows were dwindling as noon approached. The inn of the last home would soon be open for business. Tika looked around and smiled in satisfaction. If I mess up anywhere, you can ask me to, like, take a part out, okay? So, if you're like, I'm embarrassed of that, like, take it out, like, I'll totally do that. So she began to, okay, so Tika looked around and smiled in satisfaction. The tables were clean and polished. All she had to do was sweep the floor. She began to shove aside the heavy wooden benches as Odik emerged from the kitchen, enveloped in fragrant steam. Should be another brisk day for both the weather and business, he said, squeezing his stout body behind the bar. He began to set out mugs, whistling cheerfully. Why was she saying that over at the do not, it would be the do not mark area. Never mind, I'm not going to explain it. So she wasn't with him. They don't have a secret marriage. Well, I mean, I'm going to think so until they prove otherwise. Should be another brisk day for both the weather and business, he said, squeezing his stout body behind the bar. He began to set out mugs, whistling cheerfully. From my view, he could have taken everything from me and he's trying to kill me. I just barely had fentanyl put in my food and it almost killed me. And I had, somebody could have given me poison in this pill, but I mean, I'm not dumb. Nobody's ever been mean to me in front of my face. So, I mean, that's just pure greed. It makes no sense at all. There's no reason anybody would be like that with me. I'm also a very nice guy. If somebody said, hey, you're bothering me, will you go away? I would say, sure. I would be gone. So that's not an excuse either. Anyways, so should be another brisk day for both the weather and business, he said, squeezing his stout body behind the bar. He began to set out mugs, whistling cheerfully. I'm sorry for saying that stuff, but I actually have to, because it's possible. It's possible that he did that to you, so I have to. That's really, 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 wow. Anyways, I like the business I like the business cooler and the weather warmer, said Tika, tugging at the bench. I walked my feet off yesterday and got little thanks and less tips. Such a gloomy crowd, everybody nervous, jumping at every sound. I dropped a mug last night, and I swear, Retark drew his sword. Pa, Ordic snorted. Retark's a solace seeker guard. They're always nervous. You would be too if you had to work for Hederick, that fanat. Hederick. Hederick would be a combination of Mormon and police. Mormon police, that name. Because of Rick and Derek and Derek. Derek is the only Derek I know is in the goth scene. He was a Mormon. People knew that. That fanat, and then it's claiming, A-N-A-T, caring, loving, eating, drinking, loved, or cared, and then gifting. So claiming someone's food, drink, or love, and then gifting. What the hell? Did she even get a chance to see anything? Or did she even know about anything I was doing? Or was that whole thing blocked from her? What the hell? That's actually freaking me out. Watch it, Tika warned. That's my brother's wife. Who would Odic be? That name is sharing, gifting, balancing, making sure everyone is fed or whatever. It could be justice, balance. The letter K is handing. Pa. Odic snorted. Retarks, a solace seeker guard. They're always nervous. You would be too if you had to work for Hederick. That's fanatic. Okay, that's what I already read. So watch it, Tika warned. Odic shrugged. I have to read this over again. Sorry. Unless the high theocrat can fly now, he won't be listening to us. I'd hear his boots on the stairs before he could hear me. The high theocrat? What the heck? Unless the high theocrat can fly now, he won't be listening to us. I'd hear his boots on the stairs before he could hear me. Is that somebody who's doing something to Alex, my brother, in this moment? So my brother wouldn't help me? See, everything comes with a certain way so that I know what's going on, because what's going on with me is actually been more important to the authors than their own story, it seems like. My God. Because it's so messed up and they want justice. That's what's happening with everything I come across. So weird. And Palm B doesn't even know why. Or she does. Because he let her know, but it's from his own version. Or what? It's always with a lie, though. I was some racist. I was a dangerous person or something like that. I don't know. It's always some lie. I don't know. That's scary to think about. What the hell? Can I even read this? Or should I just do this later? Maybe I just have to go back to telling people the news. I just have to go back to sharing the news to the news stations until I actually know what's happening. I can't even read this. I'm too worried. That's seriously scary to think that a monster could have done that to me and actually gotten away with it. And be with that girl right now. Secretly paying her. Bought her house. Been paying her to lie to me. To string me along this whole time. To take everything away from me. That's really fucked up. I need to go back to work. I guess I'll come back at 8 o'clock, though. At 8 o'clock every night, when I'm done, you know, contacting the news and stuff, at 8 o'clock every night, I will read a chapter of the story, okay? So, what's really interesting, though, is if you know about Dragonlance, and you've got this whole thing understood already, like if you read the whole thing, it's really cool when you think about all the characters and everything, how they actually totally hooked me up. And that girl, Palmby, because she was trying to get married to me. And I proved that it's real. And so it really helps us out. It helps us out because it's so romantic because of the dreams that I had of my 3 sons. And so they have 3 moons. And so those would be daughters. And in the stories, I don't want to give it away, but Raceland, the wizard or whatever, he was in the red robes for the red moon, and then he went to the black moon to take Takis' place as a goddess and become a god, because he was like the most powerful wizard. And then he ends up being like, he ends up losing to her. Chrysania ends up with my brother. Palmby ends up with my brother. And then yeah, gross. And then Raslin's tortured for all eternity. Tortured for all eternity. How scary. It seems like there's a lot of reasons they put that there. Because Raslin has represented my left side. So it'd be like getting off of drugs, I'll go through withdrawal, you know? And also has represented you're sorry about, maybe he wasn't sorry about the bugs or whatever, and Tanis Half-Elven was, because Tanis Half-Elven is also synchronized as me, and that'd be my right side. But he has elf ears, so he's sorry about the bugs, and so the bugs aren't going to make sure that he's tortured or whatever to pay back because of what he did to bugs or whatever as a kid. Get it? Because of your parents are supposed to grab your ears. It's so weird. So funny. And then so so Raslin, so to make, so the best conclusion would have been what? If Raslin just decided to, I mean, like, what did the people really want? And you know this is actually real. Everybody who read this kind of really thought this too. They wanted him to become good. They didn't want him to be a villain. So why are you making me out to be a villain, Mark? You know what I mean? Mormons. I'm not a villain. I'm not a bad person. Or Russian or English, you know? Are they like trying to make this story play out? Think it's fun? In that way, that'd be really evil. I don't think so, though. I think I'm just going to read it out. People are going to, you know, laugh and think, wow, that's really weird coincidence. But it's not going to have anything to do with anything because of the other work that I'm doing that's helpful, because I'm going to be discovered. So I guess right now, it's not a good thing for me to do until I'm, you know, discovered more. But wow, what an incredible story. It's very cool. But I mean, what would the people want though? They would have wanted Raslin to love Chrysania instead of, like, you know, being obsessed with taking, I guess it'd be with being with the spoon, which makes sense, because it'd be like represent drugs and he wants the constellation in the sky, and my artist name is Spoon, which has meant the Big Dipper. She even put that on her wall behind her. It's so cool. It's so romantic. I absolutely love it. So I'm going to I really want to send her a bunch of stuff. And I'm sorry for everything. Obviously, if you don't know, obviously if I'm accusing anybody of something that they haven't done, you know, you should tell that girl to contact me. That's not safe. That's not safe, you know? Tell that girl to let me know what's going on so that I know what to do. Anyways, my ex-girlfriend spent hours a day on Facebook every day to cut me off. I think she was frightened of me getting killed because of Yoshi, who died in Portland. Could have been poisoned or something, you know, because his wife was so beautiful. That's really sad, because I mean, maybe she did that because she was afraid that that would happen to me, you know, because I mean, when I would have gone back, I would have got the cutest girl or whatever, so somebody would have possibly wanted to get rid of me. And so she was trying to save me. I don't know. But anyways, so how sad that she, you know, she should be, that should be fixed, you know? How do I fix it? Devin and Owen would be a good place to start. Honestly, that's because I was found over at the P.O. box for Devin and Owen, because they would be able to tell Palmby what the truth about everything. I don't really know what the truth is, though. I've only been like wondering. Okay, so at 8 o'clock, I'll do it again. I'll do it at 8 o'clock, one chapter a day, 8 o'clock. I need to work. I need to call the news. Did you hear those birds? Yeah. Right. Crazy, man. Well, Fizzban, that first one was about Fizzban, the Fabulous. So he would be synchronized as a Mormon, I guess. That did and I guess he'd be God because of Screech or whatever. Or what? And then he banned me. He's trying to kill me. Is that what it is? Because I was looking into that murder of Adam Bremer's wife. Is that what it is? Maybe that's what it is. Pretty messed up, right? Well, anyways, I'm not going to say any of that stuff when I read this. It's a good story. But, I mean, when I think of Fizban and the Fabulous or whatever, I think of a good person. I don't think of a murderer. You know? And, would he be a murderer? That's pretty scary. He should prove that he's not a murderer. You know what I mean? He should stop banning me. It's too much. It's too evil. What he did is too much. I'm gonna sue. I have to sue them. It's so evil. Me and Paul B are gonna be in for it. Well, if she wants it. She could just tell, she could have whatever. I hope that's not true and she's with somebody else. But I mean, my God, from my perspective, she was kidnapped. They used everything that I shared to trick her into it. She went with Kiana right when I shared my concerns that she would like be dating. And then she had her show about dating right when that happened. Duh. It's like a gay guy was trying to prevent me from being with somebody. Why they call him Fizban the Fabulous? You know? Weird. So he's like trying to prevent me from having a woman. Maybe it's because he wasn't doing that. Maybe he does. Maybe he does that. The Mormons, you know, not allowed to have somebody, or they block him. He's like, because he had the money to be able to. It sucks. That's why I posted that video of Tori Amos and the, you know, she did the Pass the Mission with Trent Reznor. She came to my school. Damn. Well, okay. Anyways, it's pretty obvious who I gotta sue, but I have to get people's attention because I mean I need help. You know, I need to get people's attention. I need people to contact people. Facebook. I should be on there every day doing this. But from what I witnessed, I was blocked on there. People were blocked. They weren't able to see what I was sharing. They weren't able to look me up on Instagram either. When I message people, it doesn't mean that they could see it. That's messed up. But I need to be able to use it. So, hopefully Mark's not her secret wife and somebody else just encouraged her to do that. Somebody else was doing that to her and wanting her to do that and wanting me to do that. Maybe that's true. Maybe somebody's been blocking her too. That's messed up. Anyways, I just barely sent, it'll take a little bit of time for the reporters and stuff to catch up. for like what's going on. It's not embarrassing. It's absolutely amazing. This is not the best area though for me. There's not enough room in there. It's a cool place to check out though. Alright. Well, I'm suing and I'm leaving. I guess, what should I do? Just break up with Palm Bee? Something I need to know that she knows about me. Does she know? I'm not gonna yell at her. You know, those thoughts are in my head. They're to like a rapist, you know? And I was yelling like that, of course. What the hell would you do? There's possibilities on the internet, you know? With the tentacles at Comic-Con, that's really funny. The one that was Enemy Charlie's was taking down the building. But I actually thought that one was Palm Bee. I guess that makes sense now why. But that's dangerous, you know? You should tell me that you know about me. Sorry. But that's just, people can make mistakes, you know? I mean, I haven't done anything but yell. But that's really dangerous, you know? That's really dangerous. Especially if the Mormon Church is blocking me. That makes it even more dangerous. And then Ishtar, the king priest of Ishtar, I guess would be English. I always thought that was the Mormon Church. But I guess would be that. I don't even really know. That makes sense though, because Canada would be above Ishtar. Weird. So Jon Snow, when his the wall was down in a Game of Thrones. Well, so in the Game of Thrones, I was the wheelchair kid because I was just barely discovering the birds when I watched it, and I couldn't walk. So I ended up king in the end. And my sister was jealous. It was very accurate. It's really funny. But not my dad being betrayed and stuff like that. Actually, that's not true. He has been betrayed and stuff like that. He has been. They just use him. He's beautiful. He should stop letting people use him. I've done it too. Enough of that. They should just, you know, work harder. Let the people know. Stop being antisocial. That's his problem. That's mine too. I won't be Batman if I just go and meet those people. You know? So maybe Jenny Greenteeth did that. Was like, you know, had that really big crush on me to let me know that it was actually Fizzban. Blocking me. Obsessively blocking me. That makes sense. But
Right.
Hopefully it wouldn't be anybody else. So I'm just gonna let people know. I'll go to court. My car parked at, most of the time I stayed on Waring Street and Seward. I was stretching my hands. What the hell? Make a video of myself. I'm like, oh my god, what if somebody took a picture? I was stretching my hand. It's a good thing my hair isn't blonde. Facebook takes a picture. I knew it. Stupid. Anyways. Hail is, I mean, it shouldn't be, it should be okay to hail people. What the hell? Hello? You know, like what the hell? I should come back. Stop using it. You know, people keep using it for like stuff, opportunities. Let's see that. So, they're not, as long as they're not saying Hitler, who cares? Hail! Hail! Hello. I mean, what was it though? Wasn't it like a magnet kind of thing? Hail! Because you gotta show it to them. So you're not eaten. Or so, you know, they'd send you to heaven so you wouldn't be eaten if you're albino or you're losing your skin. So it's not really racist, just, you know, becoming white.